I
Okay.
feel like we owe.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
But hello and good evening, everyone. So
Hello.
it took us a little minute to
did.
get going, but it is all right today.
Yeah.
So
All is
next
good.
week things be different. We are on YouTube today.
We're on YouTube. Yeah.
So we're trying to broaden our horizons a little
Yes.
bit. So, bear with us. Bear with
Yes.
us. But for those of you who joined or will be watching this, we thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
So, as you know, it's me, Tamelia Ward. If you don't know, because we're on a whole different platform, I'm
We
Tamelia
are.
Ward. I'm all things beauty, skincare, real estate, helping you find you within, also your look without. And if you're
Ooh,
ready
I
to
like
buy,
that.
sell, relocate, invest, we
She's
can
been
do all of that.
practicing.
We can do all of that.
She's practicing.
And of course, I am here with my friend, my sidekick, co-host, co-CEO,
Yes.
Sharice
Yes.
Lloyd.
Yes. And I can't say everything that she said because I haven't been practicing.
You ain't have to practice what you do. Because we have different realms of different industries that we work with. So,
Yes. Okay. I'm sure. You know what? I'm gonna take this jacket off. I feel
you
like
don't
it's
like
like
it
no, I don't like the jacket. I don't like the jacket. And plus, I'm getting hot
already.
already. Yeah. It's the menopause. All right. So I am Sharice Lloyd, and I am everything real estate, coaching, all that good stuff. I am a certified life coach,
Mhm.
real estate coach. Been in the business for over 20 years.
Nice.
Yay.
Nice.
My background is education, training, all that good stuff, and of course, real estate. So that is me in a nutshell. And we are here, Corks and Keys is our platform, and Corks and Keys because we love wine. We're wine connoisseurs.
And we're learning pairings of wines and the good wine was the bad wine,
All that good
international,
stuff.
domestic. So we kind of dived into all of that too.
And tonight we just have no wine.
But that's
none
okay.
tonight.
That's okay.
Yeah, we couldn't bring none in here.
So
but
we
yeah, we're
we
here.
we're doing water and lemonade. This is ginger water. So
Yeah, lemonade. It is really lemonade.
Okay, it tastes good. I
Yeah.
can tell.
Right, it's good. So, you guys, last week, first of all, Corks and Keys. Corks because we do love wine. Keys because we are realtors, number one. Because we do have the keys to well-being and to your life and to looking good.
Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
To well-being, your life, how you're feeling, what you're doing, all that good stuff. Keys to getting on the right path, no matter what that is. So, and of course, keys to real estate. And tonight we are going to finish up our buyer and seller beware type of stories. We're talking about things that maybe you didn't find out from a realtor that you used before, and I apologize. My nose is itching. So, things that maybe your realtor didn't tell you, or things that maybe that you probably need to know. Maybe your best friend didn't tell you. I don't know, whatever it is. But anyway, we want to talk to you guys about sellers tonight. Last week we talked about buyers, and it was a lot of great information. Had a lot of great people asking about different things. And we'll probably have to do another one because we got a lot of information and a lot of feedback from that one, and more people were asking more questions, and so we didn't get a chance to say everything. So tonight, though, is for you sellers. We're going to get out there and give you a little bit about seller regrets.
Yeah. What you need to know before you put your house on the market. All of that in a nutshell.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. What you got?
All right. So I'll start.
Okay.
First thing, first thing you need to know, and I did this when I put my house on the market. I got a comparative market analysis known as a CMA. And the reason why I got it, because to see what houses in my neighborhood were selling for, and I mean, I know what I wanted to list my house for, but you have to be reasonable because what you feel is a value, somebody else doesn't have that same value or same feel that you have.
And why do you say? Why do you think that?
Well, because when you buy your house, you fix it or cater it to your needs, what you like, and everybody doesn't like the same thing.
Exactly.
Like if I like an orange room, I mean, I know that's far
And
fetched,
she
but
likes
I'm just
orange
saying
though, so
I
I can
love
see her.
orange.
I can see her doing an orange room because she likes orange. Orange. I see
But
her
you
lips
know,
are orange. Oh, you
stuff
can't
like
tell.
that you can't tell.
Can't tell.
You can't tell. It's the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, things like that. So for me, I would find that value if I had, like I'm just saying, like an orange room or burnt orange, just decorated some decor,
Yeah.
painted the walls or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
To somebody else, that would be trash. So for them,
Yeah.
they may want to cut the price on that. But you
Mhm.
know, and a lot of people think, well, my house will sell for this, my house will
Mhm.
sell for that. They already have in their mind what
Mhm.
they're gonna put their house on the market for. And just because you see houses booming here, booming there,
Mhm.
all other areas, does not mean that yours will be like that. Because the
Exactly.
number one thing to consider also is location.
Ooh.
Where is your house located?
Yeah.
So, what you need to know before you put your house on the market,
Mhm.
you need to know the actual value of your house, the actual
Mhm.
market value. So, that's when you get with the realtor, like myself
Mhm.
and Cherise,
Mhm.
and we then do a comparative market analysis,
Mhm.
CMA.
Mhm.
So then you know exactly
Mhm.
what your price range would
Because
be, because you don't want to overprice your house. You don't want
so
to
what?
underprice it either.
So what will happen if you don't price it in the range you should price it?
Well, it could sit on the market too long,
And why
and
is
then
that?
people think that something's wrong with it.
Mhm.
Simply, it could be priced too high.
Mhm.
Because what you think is nice and
Mhm.
more expensive, or
Mhm.
they should want this because you put a pool in your backyard.
Mhm.
A pool doesn't give that much value to your home,
Right.
and so a
That's
lot
right.
of people think that that will give more value, but that's not true. That's not
And
necessarily
see, for
true.
me, like, and for some of us, like a pool doesn't mean anything. So, like for me, I don't even, I wouldn't even want a pool. If anything, I would be like downgrade the price because I don't want your pool.
See, exactly,
Be like
exactly,
downgrade that. If I will
exactly.
buy your house, if you would take that pool out and give me my oasis, I want full of lushes and greens and all that kind of good stuff. I
Hmm.
want butterflies and
You want butterflies and unicorns?
yes, yes. I don't want a pool. A pool means that you have to make sure that it stays clean and all that other kind of stuff. And then,
Hmm.
I'm also an insurance agent. So being an insurance agent for property and casualty, so
Yep.
that means for houses and homes. So
Hmm.
well, houses, homes, and cars is what I meant to say. So as an insurance agent, I also know too that if you have a pool, how much of a liability that is. So for
Exactly.
me, I'm thinking about
Exactly.
all of that stuff too when I'm purchasing. So it's like so many
Yeah.
different things which is really, I forgot about that actually.
Hmm.
I forget about that type of stuff. Like
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
about it, but then I don't. But yeah, so that, and then so if you price it too high, it's going to sit on the market. It can very well sit on the market, and when it sits on the market for too long, then people start thinking that something is wrong with it,
That's
and
exactly
you've
what they'll
missed your
think.
mark. Right, you missed your mark.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
then if you price it too low,
Well, if you priced it too low, then you could have gotten more for your home,
mm-hmm,
and so then it's like you underbid yourself,
mm-hmm,
because again, it may be where you have to move out fast, but at the
mm-hmm,
same time you want to price it accordingly,
mm-hmm,
not too high, not too low. So that's why you need an experienced realtor to go over
mm-hmm,
that with you and to tell you where it should be. There's always a range, but it has
mm-hmm.
to be done in order. See what's out there, what's comparable to what you have.
And don't forget too, like and when you're pricing your home, you also have to think about not only how much you kind of want to keep in house for yourself, but then there are so many other expenses that comes along with putting your house on the market. And of course, when you are using a realtor, when you're using the attorneys, and when you're using, the
Hmm.
all kinds of stuff like that. So you got to think
Right.
about all of that when it comes down to it. You got to think about if you're in a HOA and how much that HOA is going to be for the rest of the year, or whatever it is,
Hmm.
whatever it is. You also want to be sure too that there are no liens that are already on your home, because if there are liens on your home, then of course that goes, you got to pay for that as well. So there's so many different things that you got to think about when it comes to pricing your home, and that's another
Hmm.
reason why you don't want to price your home too low. Not
Right.
only because
Right.
it affects your pockets as far as like you're not going to get what you think you want to get, but
Hmm.
because there are so many other things that could come into play when it comes to
Exactly.
that, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And as a seller, just know that most of the time a buyer is going to come in and they're going to say, "Hey, I want this fixed, and I want that fixed, and I want this fixed," and it might behoove you sometimes to get some of those things fixed. So you want to make sure that you know too some of the things that maybe that could warrant fixing, right, or repairing or
Right.
replacing.
Well, speaking on repair and replacing and what needs to be fixing,
Mhm.
another thing I would say, what you what you should do before you put your house on the market, consider a home inspection.
Gotta have a home inspection.
Do
Gotta
a
have
home inspection because you want to know what may be leaking, cracking, or what.
Mhm.
We can always see like the outside, but we
Mhm.
don't see like underneath the house,
Mhm.
the foundation and stuff like that, or up in the attic.
Mhm.
So getting a home
And
inspection.
you want your own, definitely, because of course a buyer's going to come up and they're going to have, they're going to do their home inspections. Home inspections could be anywhere about $500, depending on what type you get and everything that you have involved in it. But thinking about five to $600, right, for one of the more basic home inspections. Now, with that, the reason too why you want to be sure is because maybe, for example, somebody else might come. If you did not get your home inspection, you don't know the things that needs to be done in your home, and so the buyer comes in and the buyer says, "Hey, I want this leak fixed," and you're like, "Hey, I didn't realize there was a leak." So now the buyer is saying, "Well, you know what? This leak is here, and because this leak is here, then I also see that we're going to have to replace this and we're going to have to replace that." So because of one leak, because you didn't know about it, now there are things, a list of things that the buyer might want. And because you didn't do the home inspection and just go ahead and get that taken care of, now there are other things that they may want as well, or may see, okay, you know what, because of this, now this is wrong and this is wrong and that is wrong. So I want, instead of you paying, $200 to get that fixed, now you're going to be paying $2,000 possibly, or giving a $2,000 credit
Right.
or something like that. So
Yeah, because in doing a home inspection, it gives you a heads up on what's going on behind the scenes. So, like you said, that way you can fix it beforehand, and so you already know. So then that's something that won't even appear on the home inspection.
Right.
And sometimes it's just maintenance. It's probably not a bad idea. This off the record. Probably not a bad idea to do a home inspection, like say 5 or 7 years after being in your home,
You do
because
need to.
everything is wear and tear. So some things just need to be fixed.
You do need to. You definitely don't want to not to have, like, I guess, paid no attention to the things that needed to be done in your home. You should
Right.
have your stuff, because you never know. Because some of that stuff you don't
Right.
see.
Mm-hmm.
And but this is the thing too, and this is putting back on my insurance hat.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times people they kind of neglect a lot of things that goes on in their home. If you've been
Right.
in your home for 5, 6, 7 years, and especially if you've been in your home for 10 or more years,
Mm-hmm.
you definitely want to go ahead and just get an inspection. And the reason being is because you might not realize that there was a small leak up in your attic or what have you that's causing ruckus. And a little leak can turn into so much, because your wood could rot.
Yeah.
If your wood starts rotting,
Oh yeah.
it's going to be easy for rodents and everything to get in your home.
Well, and it brings in mold and
It brings
mildew
in
and all
mold,
that other stuff.
all of that stuff. And even though you might have, and people might say, "Oh, you know what? That's what my home insurance is for, or whatever." But let me tell you, what we do when it comes down to you going ahead and filing an insurance claim on your home is, once that claim is done, more than likely that insurance company could drop you easily.
And they will. You
Easily.
file, and
Yes.
that's another thing you need to know too. If you plan to file an insurance claim, consider, is it something minor or major?
And do not call the insurance company. You okay?
Excuse me, y'all.
Poor baby.
I've been trying to hold this in.
Girl, don't hold it. Don't hold it. Let it out.
Know what it is? Anyway. that takes away from it. But go ahead. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
I honestly forgot what I was going to say. But you want to go ahead and get it done, because not only will it like your home insurance, I know what it's going to say. Do not call you. Yeah, do not. Yes, that too. But do not call the insurance company to ask them what if whatever, because we look at that as a claim. Okay, I'm giving you guys all insurance kind of like stuff. I'm not telling you, but anyway, we do look at it as a claim as well. And when we do look at it as a claim, then we're going to be like, they asked. It's going to be something. We're going to drop them, or we're going to go high on their, increase their rates. So anyway, back to selling and not knowing. The other things that you want to think about when it comes to selling is, like, how you're going to market and things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we don't think about, well, how important it is to stage, how important it is to make sure you're using good pictures and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. You it is a good idea. Like most of the time, we can come in and use our phones or whatever, but we want professional type photos because most people would like to see something professionally done. Like when they come in and they're purchasing, especially if they're because buyers are emotional as well. Just like you as
Mm-hmm.
a seller, you're emotional and you might be, pretty much biased towards your home. Buyers
And you
are emotional.
definitely would be.
Buyers are emotional too. So when you are selling your home, you want to be sure that it is as decluttered, it is as homely as possible. You want people to feel themselves there. So marketing plays a huge
Mm-hmm.
role in making sure that the home sells.
Yes.
You okay? Just getting ready to cough some more. Okay, so we're going to keep on going. Some of the other things that you want to make sure that you are doing is paperwork and contracts, right?
Okay.
So making
Sorry
sure that
about
you
that.
understand, making sure that you understand paperwork, the contracting, and things like that, right? Our pretty much contracts
Gosh.
are pretty like long. We have a lot of pages in our contracts as far as that goes. But you want to make sure that you understand all of the terminology and things like that and what it means when someone does come up. Part of the paperwork also includes your homeowners association information. There are certain things that your homeowners association may or may not allow when it comes to selling your house as well. And you want to understand and know what that is as well too,
Mm-hmm.
because that could make or break a deal as well. So making sure
Yeah.
that you know that.
Right. Okay.
Are
Sorry
you
about
okay?
that, y'all. I had a anyway.
You want to
I'll
drink a
talk to
little
you later.
bit? Yeah, you good?
That is terrible to be on live and be like that. Oh, y'all, excuse me. I am so.
You know what it is? It's because we don't have any wine tonight.
No, what it is. I had anyway. That's too much for this. Excuse me.
We're gonna get through this
But
without
going
her.
back, I'm sorry. Ooh, like you were saying, like
Mhm.
paperwork. Yes,
Mhm.
I agree. And then the other thing, before you sell,
Mhm.
is consider, like you saying, declutter. Not
Mhm.
only declutter on the inside,
Mhm.
but check the outside.
Yeah.
Curb appeal is a big thing because people are attracted to what they see.
Yeah.
So if there's some things you can cut down, like some shrubs, just keep them trimmed,
Mhm.
keep your grass trimmed,
Mhm.
you know, and maybe put a few flowers out or something like
Mhm.
that to make it look, more presentable. Because, excuse me, think about okay, and I'm just gonna say this part, like, think about, like, if you see someone attractive,
Mhm.
you would be it would appeal to you to see
Mhm.
somebody attractive who's
Mhm.
well,
Mhm.
well kept and things like that,
Mhm.
look good and smell good.
Mhm.
Because another thing, when you do an open house or
Mhm.
somebody comes to view your house,
Mhm.
people are also attracted by smell.
Mhm.
So some of the
I was just
things,
about to say that. I
the
say
inside
some.
things that
I was
we
about to say
do,
when you said
like
you look at
popcorn,
somebody and there's
cookies,
yes,
that kind of
because if
stuff,
somebody
because
stinks, you
it's
don't want to be around them.
enticing,
They pay you
right?
no attention.
And that, no, but you know what I'm saying. So
Yes,
it's like,
yes, yes.
the look that you want to have when you go out somewhere. You want to
Mhm.
look good. You want to smell good. So
Mhm.
you want your house to be like that. You
Mhm.
want it to look good. Somebody comes in there, you want it to smell good.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like the smell of like fresh baked cookies.
Mhm.
It makes it feel homey,
Yes.
you
Oh
know.
yeah.
And so
Yeah.
little stuff like that
Mhm.
can entice it,
Yeah.
because then if you've looked at several homes, you're gonna remember the house that smelled like cookies.
Yeah.
You're gonna remember the house that had the flowers and it was trimmed.
You really will. I think, and it's like when we talk about too, like as far as like it being attractive. Another thing, of course, and I mentioned decluttering.
Hmm.
Honestly, you guys, if you're going to have your home on the market, the thing to also think about too, you're going to have people coming into your house, right? And because my buyers do it and I'll do it too because we want to see everything. Don't think that just because you have that closet door closed that a person is not going to go in it, because more than likely people are going, they want to go into the
Mm-hmm.
closet. They want to make sure that everything
They
is
do.
so the cabinets, the closets, all of that kind of stuff. As much as possible, you want to get stuff out of your house.
Right. And the thing is, you're selling. So go ahead and pack it away. Some things to consider too, maybe a storage, something small just to have your stuff in. You can look at expenses as well, what you can afford.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're moving, you're going to be packing anyway. And
Yes.
some stuff, everything when you move, everything does not go to the new place.
Right.
So that's your way to go ahead and get some stuff out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, when you move, you're not bringing a whole bunch of junk with you.
Correct. Correct. What else do we have?
Well, those are my main things
The
that I was thinking
CMA,
of.
the CMA, the contract, um, the money and the pricing, making sure basically that you are pricing your home to sell. And when you're pricing your home to sell, making sure that you understand what it is that you may actually owe. So, doing a title search on your own home, doing a search on your home, making sure that there's nothing out there that could prevent you from selling.
Mhm.
Making sure too. Now, there's a lot of times that depending on where you are, and I'm always talking about zoning and things like that because that's extremely important in easements. And a lot of times you don't hear a whole lot about that, but there are sometimes places where the zoning could change. Knowing ahead of time whether or not that zoning may or may not change, and it might be different from where when you first purchased your home. So knowing that will be very helpful too, because if you're in the middle of trying to sell your home and something comes up
Mhm.
as far as zoning goes, that could be an issue that will back people out of a deal. Um, and when you're on the market, or when your house is on the market for a lot of days, no matter what the reason is, maybe you did have a buyer, that particular buyer um, could not buy, and it was at the last minute. You already had the house on the market for 30,
Mhm.
40 days. Now this buyer has taken it to extra days, and now the buyer has backed out for whatever reason.
Mhm.
So now your house is on the market for even longer. And now people are wondering what's going on with this house to make it seem as if nobody wants it, right? So now you will probably have to decrease price.
Mhm.
Once you decrease price and start decreasing price, eventually you'll find someone to purchase it. But in a buyer's mind, it could be something is wrong with the house. So now you had it listed for 450, 500, or whatever. It's been on the market for 4 or 5 months. I saw that it was off the market at one time. It's back on the market again. What is wrong? I'm going to even come down, and offer an even lower price. So just kind of knowing certain things before you actually put it out there. So you making sure that whoever that you use as your realtor is able to kind of like get all of that stuff for you. And making sure that you know the financings, all of your finances, everyone that is going to take a piece of that pie from you, like knowing everyone, um, whoever it is, whether it's the attorneys, whether it's the inspector, whether it's the repair guy, whether it's your realtors, whoever it is, who is going to take a little bit of piece of that pie from you, and what truly your bottom line is going to be. Now, honestly, we don't always know the exact amount, but we would get darn near close to the amount of money that's going to be out there for you as far as that goes. Let's see, making sure that it appraises at what it is that you want. So that's extremely important too. So what you want to do is, and that's part of the CMA or the CMA, but the appraising at that moment too is what really tells you like what a person would be able to come in and purchase it for. Now, when it comes down to your appraisal value, of course, if a buyer comes in and the buyer comes in at more, because we've of course had this happen, and I'm just throwing numbers out there. Say for example, you have your house on the market for $400,000. A buyer sees that it's on the market for $400,000. Maybe they really, really, really want it. So they might say, you know what, I'm going to purchase your house at 450,000 because I want it so bad. Before you let accept that amount, you want to be sure that it can appraise for that amount because that could be one of the reasons why a buyer, I don't know, may get out of it, back out of the deal. Maybe they say that they want it for $450,000. You say yes, you'll go ahead and you'll take it if it appraises because you did not check to see whether or not it would appraise yourself. You say yes, I'll go ahead and take that. The buyer's loan officer or lending company says no, it's not because it doesn't appraise for 450. We're not giving them the money for that amount. Now the buyer has to back out. Does that make sense?
It does. And then, if a situation comes like that, we'll
Mm-hmm.
speak to you more one on one because it's a whole lot of avenues with
Right.
that, a whole lot of avenues. But the main thing is when you get a comparative market analysis, get a licensed realtor to do it. So then that way, you know what you're looking at because there's so many things that can pop up and happen. So that's when you get someone who can trust and someone who can educate you on the whole process. So that's why we come on here, we talk about real estate. We have other people who are involved in real estate to speak on the different things that can
Mm-hmm.
happen, because there's so much that you need to know. And I mean, but that's where our guidance comes in to
Mm-hmm.
lead you, on the right path. And if you got questions, something we can't answer, we'll definitely find that answer for you. Because as Sharice mentioned, there's attorneys involved. So there are other things that go on within, the scope of selling your home. But the key thing is speak with a licensed realtor such as myself or Sharice, so that way we can guide you through that process. Answer any questions that you have.
Question for you. Have you done open houses before?
I
Because a lot of
have.
times sellers
Hmm.
like open houses. What are your thoughts about open houses?
Well, I've done open houses, but I would say what I have noticed, it's usually the neighbors that come in because they want to see what the house looks like,
Mm-hmm.
what they're pricing it at, and it's more so to be kind of nosy. And
Mm-hmm.
then I also have had neighbors to come in because they want a friend or relative to move into the neighborhood, so they want to kind of give them a heads up on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it can help because sometimes, and then you as a seller, you you open your house to strangers pretty much.
That's what I don't
So
really like about it too much.
right. Well,
Mm-hmm. I mean,
with
well,
the
you do
open
it anyway,
house,
but yeah,
it's limited. Because say
yeah.
you do an open house on a Saturday
Mm-hmm.
and you put the word out there, you market it,
Mm-hmm.
and you say, we're going to do an open house
Mm-hmm.
this Saturday from 2 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
So you market it well. You tell them to market as
Mm-hmm.
well, friends and family that, they may know, or even coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
So then that way you have that window of time that's open
Mm-hmm.
during just that time. Because if you everybody doesn't like open houses, but an
Mm-hmm.
open house, everybody can come in all at one time
Mm-hmm.
and pretty much it's done.
Mm-hmm.
But when you list your home, there's a window of time that people will call a showing service or
Mm-hmm.
call us and say that we want to look at the house at 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you usually just got home at 4:30, and so you're unwinding. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to make sure that the house is prepped and ready. You
Mm-hmm.
got to remove your kids from the house if you have them, pets from the house,
Mm-hmm.
and things such as that. So it can sometimes be an inconvenience.
Yeah.
So that's why open houses can be a good thing because you just block that window of
That
time.
window of time. I can see that there, like open houses can be a good thing, and I can see where it can be bad. I think that for sellers too, sometimes sellers feel as though that's the strategy, and an open house is not a strategy; it's really just a tool,
Hmm.
just like any other marketing tool that we might have. And
Yeah,
so it's not always going to be. My concern is always about safety reasons as well.
right, exactly.
You if you have a lot of people that are coming in and out during your open house, you may not and somebody else may not be able to see everything that's going on
Hmm.
with so many people coming in and out, if that is the case. And I've had open houses where a lot of people have been there, and I've had open
Hmm.
houses where it wasn't really successful as
Right,
far as people
right.
coming out.
Yes,
But if you have a lot of people coming in and out of your house, it could be a safety concern.
it
Something
could
could
be.
go
It could be.
missing. Anything could happen as far as the open house goes. But again, it's a tool and not a true strategy. So that's something to think about as well.
Right. Yep, I agree. And then at the same time, if your realtor is having an open house, if there's a lot of people, you can do one person at a time. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could also have them show their driver's license, something to make you feel more secure.
Right. Excuse me. I'm about to do what you do.
Don't do that. That was
Exactly.
not good.
Exactly. So just to kind of wrap it up a little bit about what we were talking about as far as like some of the things that you don't think about as sellers at times is of course pricing is extremely important when it comes down to, and you have to try to hit that pricing right on the mark the first time you have it out. It's first time you get it out there, only because if you put it on the market and the pricing is too high, it's going to stay on the market for too long. And when it starts staying on the market for too long, then it's always a red flag for buyers. So you don't want that. You want to be sure that you do have an inspection yourself. You don't want the inspection to come from the buyer. You want your own inspection because you don't want to be surprised in anything that might come up. And it could be anything. It could have anything to do with foundation. It could have
Mm.
anything to do with um, with foundation. It could have anything at all to do with anything. So you want to be sure that you take care of that for your take care of the inspection yourself. And then also making sure too, do your own title search. Make sure that there's no liens that's on your property. You don't want that to come up at the last minute either. Um,
Well, I would say, following what you said,
mhm,
like you selling your house, so you need to declutter. Go ahead and move some stuff, and then pack some things. You know, make it be presentable because people are coming in to look at it.
mhm,
So you want them to feel at home. You want someone to put themselves in your
mhm,
home because sometimes when you have so much of your stuff around,
mhm,
they can't see. It's
mhm.
like it's just too much. So
Yeah,
that's why the decluttering part is a good thing
and making
because
sure
you
it
want.
smells good.
Right, you want them to feel like they're at home, like they can feel themselves being placed there. And then, you know, it look good, feel good. Same thing like with the curb appeal. Give your house a little sprucing up on the outside because people are attracted to that. Make it smell good when they come in because people
Mm-hmm.
are attracted to that. Because
Mm-hmm.
if your husband is looking good and smelling good,
Mm-hmm. Don't want that. And if he's not smelling good, I'm
you're
gonna be
gonna say
like, I'm
something.
gonna say, look, you need to do something with that. You know what I'm saying? Before you, before you get me to do anything, you need to do something.
But
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
it's all that people are very what we see,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. What we see and
So
what we smell. It's
what we see
important.
and what we smell.
Mm-hmm.
So there's got to be some attraction,
Yes. Yes.
and so
All
all
that
of
good
that in
stuff.
a
And
nutshell.
please too, if you have sellers, please. If you do have someone says, okay, I want to come to your house, leave the house. Or don't have your people in the house or anything like that when a buyer comes. That's another thing. It's like if there's try not to be in the house
Right.
when it is. Yeah.
Right.
Because
It is a good thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. If you're getting ready to put your house on the market, go ahead and find you a safe place to
Mm-hmm.
go while somebody looks at your
Go
house.
get a cup of
Because
coffee or
sometimes
something
people they can feel more of themselves in the house when
when
you're
you're not
not
there.
there.
They're
So
more
that's the big
comfortable.
thing.
Yeah, they're more
They're a lot more
comfortable. Yeah.
comfortable when you're not there.
And do me a favor, take your dog with you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm not a dog person, so sorry,
yeah.
but I'm not gonna hurt the dog. But my thing is, I'm not. I'm afraid of dogs. That's what it is.
Right.
I'm really afraid of dogs.
Hmm.
So for me, I won't go into a house that has a dog in the house.
Really.
Mm-mm.
And see, I have.
Mm-hmm.
And and there's been times where I went in and walked right back out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everybody's like, oh,
Right,
my dog won't bite or whatever. But
right. All
no, I
dogs
don't.
have
Yeah,
teeth.
I don't
The
do the dogs.
smallest to the biggest dog that don't bite will bite when they see somebody coming into their territory
Yeah.
because to you are a stranger to that animal.
Man, I had a showing the
So
other day, and that happened. The dog was in there, and it was a pit bull, and it was in the cage, and it was going crazy.
see,
And the client, it was a tenant actually. The tenant was like, "Oh, the dog won't bother you." I'll be damned. I'm not getting next to it. It sure won't bother me because I'm not coming in to do
use good
anything.
judgment as well. Your realtor's gonna be there with you, so you use good judgment. But we want to thank y'all for coming on, for listening to
Yes,
part 2 of what you need
yes,
to know before you put your house on the market, the seller side.
yes,
So catch us again. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to join us on our new
yes,
platform here on YouTube,
yes.
where Corks and Keys, where connections spark and
And
conversations
conversations
flow.
flow. I was supposed to always do the second part. You do the first
But you
part.
had stopped. I didn't know if you forgot or not. Well, connections spark.
And conversations flow.
All right. See y'all next week.
Next week. Goodbye. Mwah. Yes. That was not a middle finger. I just want y'all to know it wasn't